All right. We know that we had a ton of turnover at linebacker heading into 2020.
Mhm.
How would you grade that position in terms of improvement since game one?
Progression. Not only has BJ Jennings, number 44, gotten better, but we've had a mixture of Zach McLeod, number 53. We've also had Sam Brooks, number 6. We've had Ryan Rigoni, number 34. I mean, we've tried any mix of either with him or him off the field. We've had Wayman Steed, number 17. And it's just been a nice cluster. We've been trying to piece the right core together. And Sam Brooks, number 6, and BJ Jennings, number 44, together has grown. And I do really like what I've seen, even to the point where BJ Jennings had a chance to have the game-sealing interception. Although he did drop it, it showed progression because he was usually out of position all year long. He literally sank right in on the cover 2 under, sank right into that middle of the field, and the ball hit him right. I mean, he had it, and he tried to double clutch it and dropped it. But you know what? That shows me as a coach, it shows me that this young man is growing. He's growing before our eyes. I'm not saying he's Ray Lewis. I'm not saying he's Dan Morgan. But it's nice to see that these coaches are putting that effort in. And he's putting the effort in, too, to progressively get better. And that's what you can ask for because, sometimes, Mark, with a season the way that this is, some players are going to be who they are. But this player has fought through injuries. He's fought through being behind players in front of him like Shaq Quarterman, who was, started 52 games, So he's been here for a while, waiting his chance, and I like the progression that I've seen. Sam Brooks is the athlete that we need at linebacker. And if you want to add striker to this, well, we'll have striker as a separate category because that is just like top tier. I can talk for 40 minutes on what they're doing there. So I would say definitely progression at linebacker.
All right. Then we'll hit you with the striker position next then.
Okay. So it started out with a 2-man battle between Keontre Smith, a 4-star safety, and Gilbert Frierson, also a 4-star, came here to play corner. But so therefore, it should let you know the athleticism you're getting already when it comes to this player. But he didn't really have the hips to be a Power 5 corner at this level. So he moved on to safety. Well, he didn't like being that far away from the ball, so it didn't really work out too much for him. And he didn't want to gain any weight at 200 pounds. So they moved him to the striker position at 6'1", 208 pounds. I think it fits him perfectly. You're going up against running backs and tight ends, but you're also in the mix to where if a slot goes your way, you can cover them too in a pinch. But it was a battle in the offseason between Keontre Smith and Gilbert Frierson, who gave up a big play last year versus Florida that no one will ever forgive him for. They've just been on his head about that. But that battle made Gilbert better. Okay, it forced Frierson, if you really want to be a starter, beat out this young man that's more athletic than you, a little bit more aggressive than you. He just doesn't know the playbook, so he can't play as fast. You do. So what are you going to do about it? Are you going to match his intensity? Are you going to match his coverage ability? Or are you going to let the fact that this young man doesn't know the playbook and eventually he will be the reason why you lose your job? So it was back and forth all year. In about week 4 or 5, Clemson game time, Gilbert Frierson started to be that one player on the defensive side of the ball, besides light-skinned warrior Bubba Bolden, and Nesta, to really jump off the screen on film. The run game, in pass rush, in zone coverage, in man coverage. He is our highest graded player. I mean, the effort this young man gives, it's high. He gave a huge halftime speech in NC State that everybody was talking about. His effort and his want to is what led to a great comeback win, a game that Miami would normally have lost. And arguably it's probably our best game this season as a whole, as far a team that would, had the talent to hit us back in the mouth. And we played really, really well. So that's Gilbert Frierson. Keontre Smith, he gives a lot of effort also. Very good dynamic, kind of nickel back type player. When he was getting in the game, they're very similar. So there's not much of a drop off between putting one out for a couple plays, bring Keontre in, and then he gets his little rust off, as a true sophomore. And he's also one of the better special teams players on the team. So you're kind of knocking out two birds with one stone. You're getting a young player who pushed that older player some play time. He started a couple games, and he's also getting his feet wet in the defense plus on special teams. So striker is our best and highest graded position, in my unhumble opinion, when it comes to this team, not just defense. This team, the striker position is the absolute best.